Word on the street is the housing market is shifting. And according to Zillow's home value index, it's actually shifting in 10 cities. And they're shifting downward. Yes, they are forecasting the prices are going to decline by November of 2024. If the rising home prices are getting you down, maybe these are some cities that you can keep an eye on as a possibility to purchase by the end of the year.
Really?
So let's get into this right now. I'm going to share with you the 10 cities where the housing market is shifting. Let's get started. Kicking off the list at number 10 is Los Angeles, California. Zillow is forecasting prices to decline in LA by 2.2%. Zillow's home value of homes in LA in November 23 were $903,521. Zillow's projected home value for November 24 in LA is $883,644. Now, LA is already seeing price declines. I did a little research into what's going on there. As of January, LA home prices were down 2.4% from December of 23. So they're already dipping, guys. The month supply of inventory is at 3.2 months in LA. So if that keeps trending upwards, LA could possibly see a balanced market this year, which is actually a good thing. So it's giving buyers a little bit more leverage. So something to keep an eye on. Coming in at number 9, another California city, Sacramento. Zillow is forecasting prices to decline 2.4% in Sacramento. The home value in November of 23 was $559,123, and Zillow is projecting the home values to decline in November of 24 to $545,704. Now, Sacramento already saw a rise in inventory in January of 2.7%. And the median sales price actually went down 3.7% in January, year over year. So Sacramento's already seeing the changes in the market. Just like most cities, Sacramento was hit hard economically because of the pandemic shutdowns. Now, they are making efforts to revitalize the city. And in fact, I just read that there are developers that are in talks with the city about converting the vacant office spaces to make actual homes or condos. So that's a good thing. Sacramento, guys, I think this is a good one to keep an eye on. Coming in at number 8 is Portland, Oregon. Zillow is forecasting the prices to decrease by 2.5%. The home value in Portland, Oregon in November of 23 was $531,528. And Zillow is forecasting that price to decrease by November of this year to $518,240. Now, look, Portland has not gotten a good rap the past couple of years. It's been in trouble since the pandemic. A recent survey showed that 8 out of 10 residents do not look at the economy favorably in Portland. And they actually feel that they are worse off than where they were 2 years ago. For the first time, most people have a very unfavorable look at the economy in Portland. Now, look, I'm not saying you should run out and buy a house in Portland right now, but again, this is another one to keep an eye on. They are trying to make efforts to improve the city since the pandemic, and they're trying to revitalize the economy there. They are making some improvements, but I think they have a ways to go. However, it can't hurt just to keep an eye on this market to see if maybe by this year you could score a good deal. And then if things turn around, they're on the up and up, then your prices are going to go back up again. Next, at number 7, we have Washington, D.C. Zillow is forecasting prices to decline in our nation's capital by 2.6%. The home value of prices in D.C. in November of 2023 was $540,101. Zillow is projecting those home prices to decline by November of this year to $526,058. DC is already seeing the price declines as of January of this year. In January, the prices trended downward by 3.2%, and that was year over year. It appears that Washington, D.C. is suffering the same pain as a lot of these cities as far as affordability and the rising mortgage rates. The high mortgage rates are really affecting these housing markets in these cities. And again, affordability overall is just it's really difficult. And D.C. is expensive. Look, go check out the homes on Zillow. See what these homes are selling for in Washington, D.C. It ain't cheap, guys. It's not cheap to live there. So who knows? Maybe Washington, D.C. will see somewhat of a price correction this year. We shall see. Coming in at number 6, we have Baltimore, Maryland. Zillow has forecasted prices to decline in Maryland by 2.9%. Zillow's home value in November 2023 was $370,023. They projected home values in November 24 to be $359,292. Now, Maryland overall as a state has a low unemployment rate. However, there are more job vacancies than there are people to fill those jobs. And over the past couple of years, many residents have left Maryland for states with a lower cost of living, such as Florida and the Carolinas. The other issue with Maryland is that there's mostly government jobs there, and there's really no attraction for private businesses to move there and call Maryland home. It'd be interesting to watch the economy in Maryland to see how this all shakes out. And it still may be a good time to jump in and buy a house there at these if the prices continue to decline. But let's hope Maryland can turn that economy around. Number 5 on Zillow's list was New York City. Zillow is forecasting prices to decline in the Big Apple by 2.9%. Zillow's home value for homes in New York City in November 2023 was $624,788. The projected home value for November 2024 in New York City is $606,669. Now, I'm kind of surprised that they did not forecast this price drop to be a little bit higher. It's all over the news. New York City is kind of in trouble right now. It's not doing well at all. The crime is up. They have the situation with the migrants moving in. Businesses are moving out. Residents are moving out. It's just not what it used to be. Look, I grew up near New York City. I still live here right outside New York City, and it's really not the safest place to be right now. Look, this is my opinion. And, some people may disagree with me, but the city is hurting right now. So 2.9%, I'm a little surprised that that's what they're forecasted at. And look, maybe Zillow is right. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll see those prices come down even more. But yeah, New York's hurting, guys. But look, if you want to get in, if the prices go down, get in, buy something. And again, once it turns around, because I'm sure it'll turn around. We've been through this. New York City's been through this before, where it's, they went through some bad times, and then it eventually turned around and things got good. So don't lose all hope. You never know. That city could turn itself around. Number 4, we have Minneapolis, Minnesota. Zillow is forecasting the prices to drop in the Twin Cities by 3%. The home value in November 2023 in Minneapolis was $362,971. Zillow is projecting the home value in November 24 for Minneapolis to decrease to $352,083. Now, here's an interesting fact. Home prices in the Twin Cities have not declined since 2011. Now, Zillow's economists are saying that trend is going to change because they're forecasting inventory to increase this year in Minneapolis. So let's see if they're right. Home values don't seem to be that bad there. So keep an eye on this market. You never know. You might be able to score a good deal if that forecast does come true. At number 3, yet another city in California, we have San Francisco. Zillow is forecasting the prices to decrease by 4.8% by November of this year. The home value in San Francisco in November of 23 was just over $1.1 million. And Zillow is forecasting those home prices to come down by November of this year to $1,054,927. Look, it's known that San Francisco is like the most overvalued market in the country. It is. And it's been one of the most expensive urban cities for decades. It just has been. So couple that with the pandemic, the housing shortage, that just drove prices up. Now they're really starting to see the prices come back down. You couple that with the rise in remote work, people not going back into the city. You got vacant office spaces. You also have a lot of tech companies out there. There were a lot of layoffs that have been going on over the past year. That's really hitting that city hard. So I'm not surprised to see Zillow had forecasted the price decline to be 4.8% this year. And who knows, maybe it'll be more. But that's one we're just going to have to watch. Number 2 on this list, we have New Orleans. Zillow is forecasting the prices to decrease in New Orleans by 6%. The home values in New Orleans in November of 23 was $235,716. Zillow is projecting those home prices to decline by November of this year to $221,573. New Orleans is one of the few markets where it's actually a buyer's market. Yes, I said a buyer's market. Did you think I would say those words in this market right now? But it's true. It's a buyer's market. Just in December of 23, home prices in New Orleans were down 8% year over year, and it's just continuing to decline. I think the high cost of everything has really hit New Orleans hard. But look, it's still an affordable housing market. So if you're interested in buying even an investment property, New Orleans may not be a bad option. Keep an eye on this one. Let's see what happens with those home prices. I mean, it's sad to see that the decline happen, but like all these other cities, again, they were hit hard by the pandemic. And I think as they come out of it and they keep making their changes and the economy gets better, who knows? I mean, if you could score a good deal on a house there now, and you never know what's going to happen in the future, you may actually make some money if you were to buy something. And you never know. Price values could go back up again as the city improves and gets better and revitalizes that economy. Topping off our list is yet another California city, and that is San Jose, California. Zillow is forecasting prices to decrease by 6.1%. The home values in San Jose in November of 23 were just over $1.4 million, and the projected home value in November of 24 in San Jose is $1,317,440. San Jose, just like other cities, was not immune to the effects of the COVID shutdown and is still trying to recover these days. The nightlife in San Jose has actually gotten better. People are coming back into the city, but there are still a lot of office buildings with vacancy. As a matter of fact, there's about 40% vacancy in office spaces in San Jose. Look, overall, California's economy has been struggling since the pandemic, and which is why the reasons like Sacramento, San Jose, San Francisco, all of these cities are really struggling, and you're seeing like these big price declines. But again, if you keep an eye on it and see if you watch those prices and they keep coming down, it may not be a bad idea to jump in, because eventually I think these economies will turn around. They're going to do what they can to revitalize and bring the economy back to where it was. So that's the list that we have today. And if you want to learn about where everybody's moving to in 2024, check out this video right over here. Thank you so much for watching me today to get your dose of real estate reality. My name is Jackie Baker, and I will see you next time.